All right. All right. All right. Haven't done that in a while. What's going on, everybody? Welcome on back to the Cinema Lords podcast. This is going to be our 8th episode, our finale for season 2 of House of the Dragon. Currently sitting at the lowest score on Rotten Tomatoes of any episode in this series so far. Sitting at a nice 48% by critics. Not good. Not good. So we're going to be talking all about this 8th episode. We're going to try to move through it a little bit quicker than we normally would move through it. And then we're going to do kind of a season 2 review all together at the end. So this one might run a little bit longer than normal, but we're going to try to shift through everything as fast as possible. Before we get going, I am joined by our aficionado of all things Westeros, my buddy Lukey Klein. Luke, what's going on, baby? How we doing?
Doing well, brother. Thank you for having me once again. I know it was kind of a weird way to end the season here, but I think there's still plenty of good stuff to take from it. We'll get into the things we don't like. We wish that we were a little bit different too, but I'm still pumped and ready to dive into it a little bit more. So wrap this baby up.
All right. As always, thank you to Kirk. Thanks for allowing the show to go on the network, getting more eyeballs on it. Episodes have been doing better and better, so I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Kirk.
Yeah. Not to mention, got another freaking text from Real Man today while I was at the movies, and another Minifan freaking went into PVC to get their glasses, went out of their way to travel over there.
Love it.
So yeah, shout out to the Minifans. Shout out to Kirk for letting me promote fucking Pleasant Vision Center on the podcast all the time. Shout out Kirk. Thank you, Kirk. So let's get into it. Episode 8, The Queen That Ever Was. Like I said, lowest Rotten Score tomato. And this is the finale. And this episode, as soon as I got done watching it, my first thought, like, instantaneously was like, this is a good episode. But it's not. It's, never mind a finale. It's not a penultimate episode. Like, this should be, this season should have been 10 episodes.
I agree.
And I'm now, like, surer than ever. The reason that it's not, especially seeing as how it ended, is I have to think it's the writer's strike.
Yeah. It seems like not only did they didn't compress anything, they just chopped off the last 2 episodes.
Right.
It's very strange.
I think it was just going to take a good amount of, like, time as far as shooting goes, because you're doing a big battle. I would imagine it'd be the battle for the gullet to end the season.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that's going to be a lot of shooting. I feel like battles are going to take longer than just having conversations in these little sets that they have.
Yeah.
This is going to require a bunch of extras, explosions, all that shit. And then obviously it's going to take more time in the editing because you figure you have dragons, you got to do all that CGI. So you would imagine that HBO, which the writers already said they wanted the season to be 10 episodes, but HBO kind of said, nah, they were just trying to get the season out and try to get the money that they could.
Yeah, it seems like it, unfortunately. I know that the showrunner wanted to do 10, and I think it was later in the process that HBO told them 8.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you're probably right that it is the strikes and the time crunch and the
writers' strike
business
hurt
side.
all the studios.
Yeah. I hope it doesn't hurt them. They have teed up so much good stuff, but it just feels like we deserved a little more payoff before they wrapped things up there. So
For sure, because this season has been underwhelming, so you're expecting some big payoff, which...
yeah.
But you could just feel, like, the way it left off was weird. Like, it left off right before this battle is about to start, which is just
the Gullet
such a
and
weird...
Harrenhal. They had all those armies
True.
closing on Harrenhal. They had the North Army crossing the Twins Bridge. They had Sheepstealer and Rhaena showing down.
That was annoying.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that. That was annoying to me.
Yeah, the way that I don't know, they're trying to cover too much, but then also not progressing the story at the same time. I don't know. It's just they got 30 characters they care about, and everybody gets a 1-minute scene every episode, and it I don't know, makes it all choppy.
Like, say, like, Game of Thrones, right? Like, their endings always, for the most part, left off cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. And season 1 did the same thing, too. But, like, there's a difference between, like, a cliffhanger and then I feel like what ended this episode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't feel the same to me, like, at all. Like, this felt very unfinished.
Yeah, I unfortunately got to agree with you. Like I said, I am excited about it, and I'm not losing steam like some people are. I'm pumped for the next one, next season, but I do think we deserved some payoff and to tee up literally like 8 things in that last montage that they ended the season with.
Yeah.
And this, which they've been teasing this whole season, and then none of it gets paid off is a little disappointing.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 parts of this episode that I didn't like. For the most part, I liked it, but
Yep.
We opened up across the Narrow Sea, which we haven't seen basically any of the free cities in this show really so far, I don't think.
Right, and very little looks into the pirate life, too.
They definitely tried to go a little bit more to the book, I feel like, Free City version. They get the dye beers and the dye hair and all that.
Yeah, I love seeing the blue hair, because not only there's Aegon from the books, who dyes his hair blue to hide his Targaryen hair, and then also... Danny's boy toy there.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
Dario
Naharis. He has blue hair and a mustachio, and like all this stuff in the books that they just completely skipped in the show.
She got that big dude. He's a husky. He's like a big fat guy.
He's
He's
awesome.
got scars all over him from all the battles. I can't think of his fucking name, but he was a savage, and he had some crazy ass shit going on too.
Yeah, Strong Belwas.
Yeah, that's who it is. Bam, there you go.
Yep.
Nice call. That
Yep.
guy was cool, man.
Yep, he was a eunuch. So like had no balls,
right.
but like
that's right.
I guess there's a couple directions your body can go after you get castrated. You can turn into like a meek, high pitched singer, or you can turn into this like monster who is not worried about anything other than killing. He's like no distractions. He's just a bodyguard and a killer.
I remember him being kind of funny too, like fucking being a very like laxed fucking soldier.
Yep, and so cocky because he. His cool thing is he lets every single person cut him once before he kills them.
There you go.
And he has this huge round belly because he doesn't have sex, so he loves food. He has this huge belly, and he has like hundreds of scars all over his belly and arms, and he's like, that's how many people I've killed.
I'm gonna probably just end up going to rereading those because God knows I'm never gonna get fucking with it.
You gotta stop saying that.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, open up across the Narrow Sea. We got Tyland Lannister. He's there to work with the fucking, what is it, the Triarchy, right?
Yep.
To try and get them to come break this blockade. And I figure we can basically just run through this entire storyline in one time.
Yeah, pretty silly stuff, but it was slightly funny.
Yep. So he convinces them. All they want is the Stepstones, which they basically just said that they want to tax people going in and out. So it's like, all right, that's not that big of a deal. Cool. But then he has to win over the commander of the fleet. We got a new character, Admiral Lohan. We got this gangster girl.
Yeah, who identifies as a man, apparently.
Yep.
They refer to her as him, and we get to later that he has a bunch of wives and stuff. Yeah.
They go to a mud fight, which fucking everybody was all like pissed off about the scene. Again, this is another thing where I'm like, this is like Game of Thronesy. Like I enjoy all of this. It just doesn't fit into a finale. Again, this is like, if this is episode 8 or episode 7 in a 10-episode season, then I love it. Like I love it.
Yep.
I think it's funny. We got to look into a character that we basically know like nothing about, which is, I'm cool with that. We get to see a part of the show that we haven't seen, which I've seen a bunch of comparisons that people are saying like Thrones to House of the Dragon. And it's like, to me, it's like, it's very different in the sense that House of the Dragon is so like tight.
Yeah.
It's like one family basically for the most part. You have a couple of other characters outside of that. And the whole show for the most part takes place in King's Landing or Dragonstone. We've been into the Riverlands a little bit now, but aside from that, it's mostly been those two locations with like maybe like a dozen or 15 characters basically that we're like following, you know what I mean, that are regulars on the show.
Yep.
Game of Thrones, you're in every part of Westeros basically with a billion different characters who all have different fucking ambitions.
Right.
Like to me it's like it's incomparable, like especially as far as like the speed goes. It's like, well, it made more sense in Thrones, all the politics, because you're meeting all these new peoples and seeing all these new areas, whereas this, like I said, it's so compact.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. And like what you're seeing on screen, you feel like should have more impact on these other characters that are so closely related and associated with each other, but then it just continues to stall.
I keep seeing that like online. It's a big thing. They're like, oh, if you don't like this, you don't like Thrones, or this is the politics and da 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 da. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with liking Thrones. Love Thrones, but it's like all the politicking in that show adds up to something. Whereas this show's been a ton of the same shit that goes nowhere at all.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to add up to something.
I guess.
But,
I mean, hopefully.
So hopefully, retrospect, it seems okay. And I do appreciate the character building that we're seeing here, but I agree that the politics is a little bit. It's not lacking. You aren't seeing the cause and effect with any of the stuff. We're just learning the thoughts of the characters rather than seeing their thoughts changing anything.
That's why I probably like this whole storyline a little bit more than most people. Like I said, it didn't fit into the finale, but I was like, all right,
it moved.
We're in a different part of, like, not actually in Westeros. We're across the Narrow Sea. Cool. Haven't been there since, like, Daenerys left, basically. And then we get like a totally new guy, but it's from a family we know. Like here's a Lannister. Fucking at some point it has to be a descendant of characters that we know.
Yep.
So it's like, all right, cool. So like I said, mud fight, wins over the girl, gonna go to the gullet with them. And then, like you said, fucking ends off. Not only does she agree to go, but she wants Tyland to be the father of one of her kids, so he's gonna fuck one of her wives or multiple of her wives.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Seems
plural.
like all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like at first, like, she identifies as a man. He was like worried what kind of sex he was gonna have with her. Well,
before
like, what are you gonna do to me? And then,
Before they introduce the character, they say he. So you're right.
Yeah. So he was like, what are you gonna do to me? Am I taking it here? What's going on? And then he's like, oh, you got a bunch of wives that I need to bang. Lovely, much better.
Wives. I laughed at that. That was very funny.
Yeah, it was funny. Little Pirates of the Caribbean. This whole scene here, kind of.
I get you. No, I like that.
Yeah, it was just a different tone, but they mentioned it right away in the after the episode thing that they wanted to have that kind of break from all that.
I think it's great.
And they mostly cut back to him after the most intense scenes, like
I got you. Yeah.
like Chris and Cole being all suicidal, and then cuts right to the mud fight, like stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool. I like that, actually. I like the way they use that as a whole. I like the fucking free cities. I'm down for all that pirates. That, like, Dorne, I loved all that shit. I liked when Dany was across the Narrow Sea.
Yeah, I agree.
There was a lot of, like, just different... They showed, like, a bunch of different parts, and they all had, like, kind of, like, a different vibe.
That's where Aegon's heading now.
Yes. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And then Helena kind of fucking gave us some prophecy, so we're going to get to that, but that was interesting. Another thing that we've kind of seen already this season, we're just going to kind of skip an action scene that we could have had. Aemond burned Sharp Point to the ground.
Yeah, that was stupid.
And we just skip right over it. Kind of like it reminded me of the Brackens and the Blackwoods there. How they opened that episode kind of almost the same way.
Yep, that would have relieved a lot of these complaints if they just at least had a montage of something burning to the ground. Yeah.
Vhagar and Aemon just flying. It didn't even have to be, dude, like, we're talking, like, people don't even need that much, like, seconds, you know what I mean? Just, like, give us him going back and forth a few times, like, we're talking about 10 seconds. You can give us 10 seconds.
And that doesn't happen in the books, so they just threw it in there and didn't even do it.
That makes it even crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Yep, they're making him more villainous, but that's the only purpose of it.
So dumb. Speaking of Aemon, before we keep going, I told you right before we started, but I saw something online today. But it was like throughout the entire season, Aemon had like, I think it was 28 minutes on screen. Yeah. Over 8 episodes. Obviously, a lot of them are over an hour.
Right.
And he rides Vhagar. He's supposed to be their best sword, and he's basically king virtually in this season. And he got like 28 minutes of screen time. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, that is wild. That's half of one episode. There's 8 episops. It's like a 16th.
Right. And he's like 7%, major
7% of the show he's on screen. That's stupid.
Nuts.
Yeah.
But like I said, we skip that. We go to Clubfoot. He's gonna convince Aegon to leave Westeros. Let's bounce up out of here. We'll take a little time off, and then we'll come back when the time is right. Mm-hmm. Just 2 things I noticed about this scene that I noted. Cock went poof. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
What did he say? Burst like a sausage or some shit like that.
Yeah, and he can't even pee without it running down his leg and shit.
Yeah.
But which puts him in a tough spot where he now only has a female heir, which is the whole point of his fucking war, his like main defense of why he should be king over Rhaenyra. And so now he's left in a spot where he's either got to let Aemond be his heir or support his daughter to be his heir. Just kind of interesting. Little tricky spot he's put himself in.
He's in a bunch of tricky spots.
Definitely not making babies with his melted sausage.
Right. But, that makes me think, like, now that he can't do that, that's just, like, that's one of his, which actually we'll get to, the Realm's Delight, which is his nickname, which is awful.
Yeah.
But one of his delights is fucking, obviously, hitting all the brothels, which now he can't do.
Yeah, that was his, like, main driving force in life.
So maybe that makes him a little bit more interested in, like, politics and fucking learning, you know what I mean? He's got to put that time into something else now.
Yep.
So I could, you know what I mean? Almost like Varys in it, kind of like, all right, you know what? And Clubfoot, fucking either way. Like, all right.
And he wants to be loved, obviously, like you said with his nickname.
Yeah, Aegon, the Realm's Delight.
Right, which, I don't know if you remember it, but that's actually what Rhaenyra kind of went by.
Was it?
It's what she was known as. It's more in the book, but they do mention it in the first season of the show. That's when she was like the young cupbearer and young and beautiful.
Yeah.
She was referred to as the Realm's Delight.
Yeah.
And Yeah, so that's him wanting to be like her when he says that too.
I got you.
Or to be loved the way that she's loved.
That reminds me of one of the first scenes there when she comes in and he's like, "Where were you?" I was with Mother, and he sniffs her out. He's like, "A dragon back?" Just sniffing the dragon.
Yep.
Dude, season 1 was, in hindsight, season 1 I enjoyed like so much more in hindsight than I did when it was going on.
Hopefully that's how this one ends up being too.
We'll see.
We shall.
Rhaena, again, we can kind of just sum this one up like we just did with the Lannister. She basically is just going to chase this thing. She's cold. It's daylight. It's nighttime. I hated this so much.
Yeah. And all in like 25-second chunks.
Yeah.
Just like sprinkled throughout the episode. It's very strange.
It was awful. And like I said, I feel like it very much left it not like on the season end. It felt it was like something that we would see like next week kind of thing.
I know.
That's how this whole episode felt to me. It felt very much not like I'll see you in 2 years. It was like I'll see you next Sunday. You know what I mean?
Right. And again, this is another thing that's not in the books too.
Right. There's I kept seeing that. There's another character, right?
Yep. Nettles.
Which actually I feel like we talked about 2 weeks ago because I
Yep,
remember saying, all right, right. It was like we're already introducing a bunch of new characters, like another one that's almost in the same vein when we already have Rhaena and isn't really
right,
doing
which
it.
makes sense. But just to match up with what you're saying earlier about hating Aemon's scene. That was an added thing just out of nowhere. This is another one that they're adding in and not paying off.
Is that Nettles' character like cool? Is that
She's super cool, yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I don't want to get into too much because I don't know what they're going to pull from her story, but I can tell you after for sure. She's very involved.
All right, I got you. So yeah, we're gonna see her basically just traveling the Vale for the entire episode, and then it ends with her like just seeing Sheepstealer.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, finally showing down. Looking all mangy and stuff. Like it has
weird
like
wings.
Yeah, it has like some sort of flesh-eating virus or something.
Yeah.
It's all like
looks
some fleas.
Like batish like almost with the
really translucent wings and or transparent wings and all these like splotches on it and stuff and.
But it would be
scrapping.
Bigger. Definitely thought it would be bigger.
Yeah, same.
Assumed a wild dragon like just smashing down sheep probably would be a little bit more in size, but
yeah. And another thing that they left out from the book was that there were a few attempts of people who said they were Targaryens who tried to claim Sheepstealer and didn't manage to.
No, it's not in the Vale though, right? In the books?
No, nope. It's also in the Dragonstone area.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of Dragonstone, that's where it goes next. Quick scene. Ulf's being a complete dickhead now that he's got a dragon.
Yeah.
Hugh's very like
uncultured swine.
Yeah, for real. Hugh's very like soldiery, respectful, like kind of knows how to present himself in front of nobility.
Yep.
And then we see Jace. Jace gets like a good scene, I guess, but at the same time, it's like against like the weakest guy in the room, so it's just like low hanging fruit. But he not scares off, but he sets Ulf straight.
Yep.
Fucking puts him in line.
Yep, definitely pushing out his insecurities there. He's very threatened by the whole thing with other people being dragon riders, and then the first thing Ulf says to him is like, "Oh, your hair is brown. Look at that." Like,
yeah, and he went to like basically noogie him almost.
Yeah, but when it really is a point of pride for Ulf, that he's like, that was his defense. He's like, "Yeah, look at the queen's son. He has brown hair. That's why my hair is not white." You know.
That's true.
And
that is
so
true.
it's a point of pride, but he doesn't realize that Jace is extremely insecure about that.
Jace is insecure about everything.
Yeah, like your person is main button right there. Not gonna go well.
We're really gonna get into Jace later, but
he's pouty. Yeah. Doing some Jon Snow.
It's funny you use the word pouty because I actually have the word pouty right there.
Yeah, very Jon Snow.
Very Jon.
Pouty bitch is what I see.
Yeah, pouty bitch is exactly what's there.
Yeah.
Let's see. So yeah, that was basically that. We see Rhaenyra and Corlys. They're talking dragon riders, some strategy. Corlys is like immediate action. We got to go. We see that he renamed his ship, the Queen That Never Was, which I didn't necessarily think was like super respectful, but whatever.
Yeah, and she always hated his fucking boats in the first place. So.
True. I don't know.
She hated his seafaring life.
Weird name.
Yeah.
But it seems like he kind of gets through. Rhaenyra's like, yeah, we got to move. The only thing I thought was kind of interesting was he had every opportunity in this moment to be like, yeah, actually, like, he's actually my bastard son, and just like doesn't say anything at all.
I know. He's still
just
struggling
like,
with it.
He's a good, like, you know, basically he's good at being a Navy guy.
Yeah. It's good first mate.
Man. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's weird. He's really struggling with it. He's finally like seems like he's making some progress now that he sees how like successful and like apt they are to like do stuff. But
both his boys are quickly rising up the ranks in a matter of weeks.
Right, so he's feeling some pride, but even still, he hasn't quite said anything. Even to Adam, who rode Sea Smoke, you know, he just like, good job.
Well done.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
That was what we talked about last week. That's
all I
right, you
could
weren't here
squeeze
last
out.
week. It was me and Mick.
Yeah.
That's right, I forgot about that. Let's go here. Let's see. Shout out Mick, who's going through fucking driving to North Dakota right now with the boys for the show.
Oh, wow. That's sick. From East Coast?
Yeah, from where we are.
Oh, my God.
Driving from here to North Dakota to do...
Jesus.
Or South Dakota, I'm sorry. North Dakota, South Dakota, Dakota.
It's going to be a couple days either way.
Oh, yeah. They're going there to do a live show in someone's basement.
Sick.
It's the greatest show in the world. It's
Hell
the
yeah.
greatest show in the world. We go to Harrenhal. This was interesting for one or two reasons, I guess. Damon's preparing his army, and we finally get this dude who comes up, Sir Broom.
Yes.
It was the man that Rhaenyra sent over to basically have words with Damon, tell him that, I think she said they want to continue the last conversation that they had.
Right. Also, just to get rid of him because he was like the most outspoken.
Being a pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass, yeah.
So I would say the first thing of notice is that obviously he's telling Damon that he'll basically go turncoat and fucking go against Rhaenyra in favor of Damon.
Right. We need a king, not a queen.
Which Damon seems shocked by almost. Like
Right.
he even says it. He's just like, I never thought you'd be the guy. But he like kind of gives, like turns his head and almost like smirks like, oh shit.
Yeah, and he still seems like he is still feeling that option, even despite everything. I don't think he's quite made his decision yet, honestly. I think it's with this last vision we see coming up that he finally is like, okay, no, Rhaenyra.
I think almost in that moment he was ready to be like, yeah, I'll take that house. Like,
Right.
I'm raising an army. Like,
Right.
hop on in, bud.
Despite all these fucking things, and his last one with Viserys, which was so powerful, he still isn't convinced, which is why Alice is crying on his bed later, I bet. But she's like, I tried everything. You still don't get it.
It's a good thing we're moving quick because there's a lot of things I want to dive into that that we're gonna be getting into very shortly. The last thing I noticed about that season, of course, is that scene is my boy. Shout out Sir Simon again. The man's fucking watching the entire thing from the distance.
Legend.
Kind of very like remind me of Littlefinger big time. Littlefinger was always doing that in Thrones. They showed him a bunch of times, always like lurking here or there. And that's what Sir Simon gave me that impression of in this scene. Like he's just watching from the door and just like peeking around, like, oh shit.
Yeah, out of focus, but in the background you can tell it's him.
Yeah.
Or they'll focus in on him after the scene ends or something.
From the second this man was on my screen, I was like, I like this guy all the way through.
He was great.
Sir Simon's awesome. He's a fucking man.
Yeah, he is great.
He's awesome.
No complaints.
Aemond continues to not give a shit about the small folk, which obviously, of course, is going to come back to bite him because we spent so much time this season talking about it.
Yep.
Alicent asks Helena if she wants to basically leave. Like, do you want to bounce up out of here? We'll take the granddaughter, which name I don't know. You got that one?
Jahara.
Jesus.
Yes.
Fucking
Easy. You could have probably guessed that one.
Jaheira and Jaharis.
Yeah.
What a bunch of assholes.
You could have guessed, probably.
But I think the more important thing after that, which obviously I'm not surprised that Alicent wants to bounce out of town. But Aemond comes in and he very forcefully tries to like drag fucking Helena to her dragon because she's needed in battle, basically.
Right.
Alicent says no. She's like, fuck that. This is too far. It's not worth winning at this point or this price. Not this point, this price.
Yeah, and talks him down for once. Actually gets through to him for a second at least. He backs down and leaves the room. Surprising.
Yeah, like what's he gonna do? Like realistically speaking, like are you gonna like fucking hold
Strap
off
her to
your
the
mom,
dragon.
fucking like Heisman your mom while dragging your sister, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's a bad fucking look, dude.
Yeah, no,
like
very
she's the queen. Helena's like the actual queen. You're regent. Like she's queen. And then you have Alicent, who's the former queen, who basically ruled for like what 20 years?
Probably, yeah.
20 years.
Yeah,
something
enough
like
for Aegon to be how old he is. You know? So yeah, 20.
yeah, something like
25.
that. Yeah. 20 years or so.
One thing I want to mention too is when it cuts to this scene, it's right after Damon obviously is contemplating if he should say, yeah, let me be the king, or no, Rhaenyra should be the queen.
Yep.
And so I feel like cutting to Aemond, who is now like on the upswing of his madness,
Yep.
as Damon's coming down from his, is kind of cool. Like
I like that.
Yeah, they're like he's fighting off that madness in him, and he's close, but he's still kind of crazy and willing to maybe betray his wife / niece. But And
I
then
like that too because the
cuts to Aemon
characters
being
obviously
psycho.
I'm sorry. What was it?
That's it. Good. You're good.
I was just saying I like that too because obviously the characters have kind of mirrored each other. Like Aemon's
Oh, yeah.
specifically been looking up to him the entire time.
Yes. Yep. They are very similar, and yep, mirroring each other in many, many ways.
I like that a lot. The up and down. I like that a lot.
Yep. That was cool.
No, it's very nice. Alicent asked the Maester to escape the city, which this fucking Maester has been getting called on by everybody.
Yeah. And this is also right after Aemond just said, put a halt on like everybody leaving the harbor, search
Right.
every ship.
That's true.
And then she immediately is like, I need a ship. Get me out of here.
Yeah. How many episodes ago was that when we were like security problems? It's
Yeah.
like a real issue with these people.
Yeah. So is that people not listening to him, to Aemon's orders?
Oh, I gotcha.
Or is
they're
it
just
just them being
totally
terrible? Yeah.
incompetent.
No.
Yeah.
Even if he has good orders, it doesn't matter because they all suck.
Yeah.
It seemed like the guy that Aemon was telling to block the harbor was kind of like thrown off and set it back. He's like,
Oh yeah, he was like the small folk are already starving, and now you're cutting off some of their fish, which is all they were talking about. Is basically all they had was fish.
right. And so maybe he just didn't do it, and that's why she was able to escape.
Maybe I could
Didn't
see
listen to
that.
him.
I could see that. Yeah, because obviously this whole season, like people have just been able to go wherever the fuck they want without any problem. Like
Yeah.
Damon, Rhaenyra, Alicent have all moved wherever they want to go.
Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, Alicent's trying to get out. We go to Gwaine calling out Cole for fucking his sister. Cole continues to be a simp bitch.
Yeah, smelling some panties on on a log over there. That's my girl.
Oh
Green's
shit!
like, what the fuck?
I like fucking I don't know if you noticed, but every single surrounding soldier, like in the immediate area, was all like, oh, like all like high school shit. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, yeah, look over there, look over there.
Yep, taking out their phones.
Yeah. It's about to throw down. World Star.
Right.
World Star. Fucking Cole does just kind of, like I said, is a simp bitch. Like complains, like all I've done is chase women, and it's fucking led me here.
Yeah.
Dude, get over it. Get over it. And then it gets real depressing too. Something
Actually,
about
I was
dying
gonna
on
kill
the
myself.
battlefield and shit.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, he's like dying on the battle. That too saved me from killing myself. Dying on the battlefield. He's like it'd be a relief or a release or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
it's like the dragons dance and men are like dust under their feet. All
That's
of
a
all
good-
our thoughts and endeavors are nothing. We march now toward our annihilation. To die now will be a kind of relief, don't you think?
That's a good line.
It's fucking brutal.
That's
He
a
is
good
so
line. What's
so
the first
sad.
thing that the dragons
Dragons dance and men are like dust under their feet.
That's
All of our thoughts and our
Very
endeavors are nothing. We march now toward our annihilation. To die will be a kind of relief, don't you think?
That's pretty. Yeah, that's good.
He's fucking depressed.
Yeah, no shit.
It feels useless.
Like, dude, you should have you just played your hand wrong right out of the gate. You should have just been banging fucking Rhaenyra for all of this time.
Yeah, should have been her whore, just like he hated the idea of, but it's just Alicent's whore instead.
That throws this
Didn't go
entire thing into total disarray, like as far as everything goes. Like, then does she still get with Damon? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Does she just have a bunch of Cole babies?
right. Apparently, it was all destiny. Nobody had any choice in the matter.
Three-eyed raven.
Yeah, I bet you love that.
Three-eyed
I
raven.
bet you fucking love that.
Oh, I do. It's my favorite. It's my favorite thing in this entire world is the three-eyed raven.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to him.
Hell
Jace is a big old pouty bitch. And then we see one of the gangsters of the world, Baela. Baela talks him off the edge. Basically just says, stop beating a pouty bitch.
yeah.
Well, fucking Jace, dude. What a fucking, this kid. I was like ready. I was like, all right, this guy is going to be like my favorite character.
Yeah, that
in the
first
show.
scene he had to start off the season where he's like marching on the wall with
I liked him even
that was
last
sick.
season.
Yeah, that too.
Like-
I thought he had a big come up on that first episode. Like
No, he did.
He got older and like got a new hairdo and stuff.
For sure.
Graduated. But
I liked him right out of the when they were like teenagers, like in the court. I think it was before they switched actors. When they're in the courtyard, it's the scene where Cole gets his ass kicked by Strong.
yep.
But fucking at first, Aegon's kind of just hammering on because he's bigger, he's stronger, he's older, and all that. But then he gets up off the ground, he fucking starts hammering back at him. It's like, yeah, let's go, kid.
Yeah.
And then fucking obviously his dad is like what they call him, the strongest guy in the kingdoms.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, half dragon rider on top of that, has a dragon. I'm like, all right, this guy is gonna Jace is gonna be my guy.
I know,
like, my guy.
I want him to come up, but yeah, downer season for him. He had a good that good one diplomacy thing at the Twins, but
like I guess
nothing's really come of that except in our end montage with the old guys walking across it.
All he's done this entire season is bitch and complain. And then he had one good plan where I was like, all right, that's something, bro. Like that, there you go, there's something. And then he fucking complains basically like the week after because it only went like half his way. Like we got the Dragon Riders from our bloodline, but they're of low blood, so no. Like
yeah, that was weird. I think we do have to feel for him a little bit, or at least hear where he's coming from. But he needs to be stronger than that and more supportive. But like when Rhaenyra takes Adam with her to Harrenhal in a little bit instead of him, sends Baela to go defend, like do some scouting, I don't know, all those little burns, which are to protect him. But I would be a little worn out too if I were him. But
no,
I
would be too. But be mad. Don't be like pouty and fucking bitchy. Like
right.
You got the fire. You have fire and blood. Like show it. Don't be sitting there like, fucking. Mom won't let me go anywhere.
I'm with you.
Fucking.
He needs to do better.
Yeah, for real. Baela's awesome. Like fucking Baela and like Damon are my two favorite characters in the show.
Baela's got limited responsibilities too, but she kills it when she's called upon and doesn't complain in between.
Yep.
And that's how it should be.
Actually, that was one other very small scene that was at some point earlier this season where one of the people on the Black Council was kind of calling out somebody. It wasn't when Rhaenyra was there, but it was in regards to Baela, and he was like, "Dude, shut your mouth! Like we wouldn't have any of this information without her.
Yeah,
show some damn respect,
right?
Which that's good. Way to step up for your what do they call that? Not fiance, but their match,
betrothed.
Betrothed. There you go. That's what I was looking for.
It is fiance, but
that's
their fancy old English shit that they like to talk about.
Yeah, I was looking for that too.
It was, or I guess that's coming up, so I'll talk about it in a minute.
Rhaenyra holds a little dinner here for her advisors, basically Baela and Jace, and then the new Dragon Riders.
Perfect. That's what I was going to mention.
Oh, right,
perfect. How hilarious is it the difference between regular people and then the royalty? Like we kind of get used to their super formal, like Shakespearean way that they talk, and then
the Targaryens.
Yes, like Jace and Rhaenyra and Corlys and. All the royal people, and then you got Ulf, who's just like
continues to be a douchebag.
Yes, but also just a regular guy in a lot of ways, and it's just a hilarious little. Makes you realize how formal and like Shakespearean the main characters are without everybody else there.
He did have that line at the end that was pretty good because she was like you'd watch your tongue. Like he was like, well, you better knight me then.
Right? Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, like a knight. Yeah, a knight doesn't disrespect someone at their dinner or whatever.
There you go. Yeah. Jace calls him out again. He's like, Jesus, you guys have no sense of humor. But it ends. Raven comes in, fucking Sir Simon's Raven, because he was, like I said, being the man. Mm-hmm. And basically told Rhaenyra that, there's some scheming going on behind your back at Harrenhal. And Rhaenyra bounces and, like you just said, ask Adam, of all people. Specifically chooses him. So I feel like that's kind of telling, too.
Yeah.
I feel like because Hugh and Ulf kind of just, showed up to, try and, claim one and stuff. Whereas Adam, the dragon chose him, A, and then B, swore the knee to her, right away.
Yeah, he's been the most loyal and, outwardly, submissive.
Yeah.
Everybody else was kind of a question mark. Can we trust them? But he seems very reliable.
Well-spoken.
Yep.
Also, she knows now that he was working, in the Valyrian fleet. She was, obviously, Corlys is her hand.
Yep.
So, I totally get that. I could see, Adam kind of hurt, him and Baela kind of being the two people that she uses the most.
For sure. Especially if she finds out about his father.
True.
That'd be a great little and help out Jace's worries, too, that it's actually someone who was, can be connected directly and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, eventually, all these guys can be directly connected. Not far off either.
Right.
Ulf is half-brother to Viserys and Damon.
Right.
So that makes him his uncle. Or half-uncle, however you want to put it.
Yep.
And then what was it? Hugh is the uncle.
Yeah, I was struggling to figure out that tree part, but it seems
nephew. His mom is Jaehaerys's daughter, who was
a bastard daughter or a Targaryen who just happened to live in a whorehouse.
No, I think she was a Targaryen from what I was reading.
But she
so
just
I looked up to it.
used her power to be do whatever she wanted.
She was always like almost kind of like Aegon.
Yeah.
Kind of like just like a sexual partying like degenerate, and he like I think basically like almost like exiled her kind of thing.
Gotcha.
From what I read, at least.
Yeah, disowned kind of thing.
Yeah, and her son was Hugh, so he would be the nephew of Damon and Viserys.
Okay.
So it's not like these people are far off. Yeah, exactly. Like they're very quickly connected.
Mm-hmm. Cool. One other quick thing is when she offered them the knighthood for doing their duties here.
Yeah.
Earlier, Hugh mentioned that to his wife, like, I'll be a lord.
Yeah,
we'll never have to worry again. So even though knighthood is good, is that going to be enough for what he was planning on? Is that a bad offer? Obviously, she's reluctant to offer more because same thing as Jace. She wants to protect what Targaryens are and not give these people that now have nukes a nation as well,
Right.
But it's just interesting. We'll see what Hugh's thoughts are because he seems very like you can't really read him at all. He's just kind of a brick wall. Seems courteous, but that is conflicting with what he thought he was going to get out of doing this.
I also want to know like where his wife is. I want to know if his wife came to Dragonstone with him or if she stayed behind in King's Landing.
Right.
Because I mentioned that last week when I was with Mick. I was like, one of those three guys, Adam, Hugh, and Ulf, are going to turn. And I would say almost 100% confidence that it's not going to be Adam.
Yeah,
which leads between Ulf and Hugh. And like the only reason I could see Hugh, I think, turning is because like of his wife somehow. Like I was saying, maybe like somehow the Greens get a hold of his wife.
Yeah, I like that.
Or some shit like that.
Yep, he's got a soft spot for family for sure.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like he already lost his daughter, comes some kind of hostage thing.
Yep.
But like I feel like that would. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe it wouldn't be that tough. Maybe like they already found out about Adam. They find out this guy got. But like, do they have like a list of the small folk and you know what I mean, like their spouses and family lineage? Like Aemond doesn't even give a shit about feeding these people. Like, is he really going to be able to go out into the streets and find this guy's wife? You know what I mean?
Right, and they don't have a Laris or an Otto who are good at knowing people to figure that shit out.
Good point. That's right. Clubfoot's working against him, and he's backing out the door, so he can't. That's a very good point.
Yep.
They're the kind of people like White Worm, Clubfoot, Varys, Littlefinger. They could find somebody like that.
Yep. He's
Great call.
Losing all his intel people.
Yeah. Good call. Very good call. So, I mean, that's why I said last week, I was like, I think Ulf makes the most sense, just because he's also the biggest idiot, which makes me think that he's the easiest susceptible to like bribery.
Yep. And they've been mean to him this whole episode.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's used to it, but still.
Yeah, I feel like I could easily see a world where like somehow like Aemond or whoever gets a message to him is like, yo, like fuck that, we'll put you on the council, fuck knighthood.
Yeah.
He's just like,
we'll give you Harrenhal or whatever.
Yeah. You'll be the master of wine.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, let's go. I'm in.
Yeah, you like Dorne?
You like, dude? Fucking A. They announced that like they got in development. Obviously, Seven Kingdoms show. What is it? Night of the Seven Kingdoms. That's next summer.
Yeah.
They got House of the Dragon. Then they have an Aegon Conquest show in development. That's a live action. That goes. And then the 1,000 Ship show is still like confirmed and on. And I was just like, yes.
Nice. Still not picked up officially, right? Still just in development, but for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's promising.
Which I would imagine that the Night of the Seven Kingdoms show isn't going to be that long, right? Like that should only be like.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 310-page books to base it on so far. I don't know. There's supposedly going to be a lot more books, but it's yeah.
In the first book, wasn't it like 3 individual stories? I'm gonna read.
Yeah, that's all it is so far. Yep, it's
So I would
the
say
Hedge
like one
Knight,
season on each.
Hedge Knight, something, and the Mystery Knight are the 3.
So we have Summer 25. That'll be season 1 of Kingdoms. 26 will be House of the Dragon. Say 27 Kingdoms, 28 Dragon. That'll be the end of that. If they do 1 year each, it'd be 29 king. Jesus Christ, it's crazy. I'll see fucking 1,000 ships in 2030.
Let's go. And by then, George will put out the 6th book.
At that time, George will be dead. And I'll be sitting here screaming. It's crazy, man. Every time I see anything about this show, that's my first thought. Is like, I'm excited, but fuck you, dude. Stop talking about television. And go and write the fucking book.
Yeah, I read his not a blog thing, his blog.
Yeah,
all
it's
the time.
infuriating.
Yeah.
Absolutely infuriating.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we said, bounces with Adam. All right, so here we go. Damon's last vision at Harrenhal. Wakes up to Alice Rivers. We go to the weirwood tree, and they do a very Bran thing. Like Bran does it multiple times in Game of Thrones, just like touches the weirwood, and then vroom, goes through like a whole little sequence of visions.
Yeah.
Exactly what Damon did.
Yeah, all the sap / blood pours onto his hand, and like it's real trippy. And right before that too, he sees like this vision of this weird looking guy with antlers, right? You didn't catch that?
No.
Yeah, so like right before, like as he first sees the tree, he sees like some dude with antlers creeping up towards the tree, and then he looks back and he's not there anymore.
Oh shit! No, I did miss that.
So that's supposed to be like the green men, who are the people on the God's Eye.
Okay.
Or not even people, like the creatures on the God's Eye, who are very mysterious and magical. And
give me the magic.
Supposedly Howland Reed
is supposed to be big.
Yeah, supposedly Howland Reed has met them in the modern day Game of Thrones stuff. But
that was Ned's like good friend in the books, right?
Yes, the guy who saved him at Tower of Joy and stuff.
There you go. Yeah, and then his
and
kids
Jojen's dad.
Yeah.
And Mira.
Mira.
So those guys are crazy. Their spread said to maybe be like a hybrid of people and Children of the Forest or something.
Okay.
But at least very magical and mysterious.
That'd be pretty trippy if men are banging Children of the Forest.
Yeah, that's a kick. That's a kick.
We're getting half and halves with that. That's wild.
If the Child of the Forest is like 400 years old, is that?
Yeah, no shit. That'd be wild. I missed that. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I got everything else, but I somehow missed this dude in the tree.
Yeah, it was 1 second. That's creeping up, very strange. And then that's when she leads him to put his hand on it, and then we get into what she got there.
I bet you any money I was typing when that happened.
Yeah,
especially if it was that quick.
Yeah, it's just 1 sec.
The one that interests me the most was the one right out of the gate. We see fucking Brynden Rivers, which is the bastard son of a Targaryen who becomes a three-eyed raven.
Right, with his birthmark on his face. And
now this is the three-eyed raven that we see in Thrones.
Right.
Great.
Yep.
Thought so.
Who is like who's not born yet in this world. You know, he doesn't exist yet in House of the Dragon. He's
What do you mean?
Brynden Rivers?
Yeah. He hasn't been born yet?
Nope.
Oh shit.
Nope. He gets sent to the wall like 50 years before Game of Thrones. And that's where he brings Dark Sister, the legendary sword, and
Damon's sword.
Yep. And then eventually is like the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and then eventually leaves and into the north and is never heard from again. And that's like, I don't know, 70 years before Game of Thrones.
Huh.
Yep.
That's weird.
Yep. So we're in like year 230 right now. And Night of the Seven Kingdoms is year like 170. No.
Okay, so that totally goes against what I had in my brain. I thought Brynden Rivers had already did all of that.
No,
prior
he has not been born yet at this point.
That's weird. I thought the fucking three-eyed raven fucking had wildly long life.
Yeah, I mean he's supposedly taking over someone else's thing the same way he's passing it on to Bran.
Right.
So the three-eyed raven, but Brynden Rivers he's only 150 or something. He's unreasonably old, but not 500 years old in Game of Thrones. He's 40 in Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is 100 years before the show.
Oh, he's in Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
He is.
Oh, shit. All right.
Yep.
I started fucking Fire and Blood, but I'm probably going to have to put that on hold and fucking just go read that one just because.
You should. You'll read it. I read it on a 6-hour flight. I read all three of them.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's quick moving. There's pictures and stuff. It's
I got you.
Good read.
I got you.
Not complicated.
I'll have to I'll probably just dive into that then fast. So the things I did, actually, I'm sorry. So the first thing was Brendan Rivers, bastard son of the Targaryen, three-eyed raven. Obviously, like I said, anything three-eyed raven gets me going. We see the Night King's general and part of the Night King army, which, like, to me, I saw that and I was like, yeah, cool shout out, but like we saw them die in like 2 seconds because the character that wasn't supposed to kill the Night King killed the Night King in a battle that was wildly dark. Yep. So I really can't care that much. But then we see a battlefield loaded with bodies and a dead dragon.
Yeah, couldn't tell which one.
Thought it did look reddish, but then again, a lot of blood, so hard to tell for sure.
Right, that was strange.
But like Caraxes is red, but actually that's the one dragon you can say it wasn't. I feel like is because you had that wicked long neck, and like that would have been easily distinguishable, and it didn't have that.
Yeah, the neck was too thick.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that thing was just a normal, like it was a normal dragon.
Yeah,
a normal neck.
Yeah, wasn't no necks, wasn't long necks.
Yeah, exactly. So that interests me a little bit. We see Damon drowning. Can't for the life of me put something on that one. Maybe something to do with the stepstones and the blockade. Don't think so, but I don't.
That was weird. Seems like he's seeing his death, right?
I mean, either that or it's kind of more of like a metaphoric, like he's drowning under the weight of everything. You know what I mean?
Does he wake up right after the drowning part?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Nope, that's when we get our big old Easter egg, and by Easter egg I mean 3 dragon eggs and Daenerys Targaryen giving birth to.
Yeah, that was so cool. I loved that.
That was a cool little.
Gave me some chills.
Yeah. Again, that's same kind of thing. Like, you know, if she was the prince that was promised, the princess that was promised, as she was supposed to be, before they ruined it, yeah, that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
But instead, it's just like, hey, look at this girl who actually isn't the savior. It was fucking weird. You know what I mean? It was weird.
Yep.
They fucked that thing up so bad. They fucked it up so bad.
I know.
They fucked it up so bad. Rhaenyra sitting the Iron Throne, and then it finished it off with fucking Helaena, which I thought was weird because, like, if there's any two characters that have like no tie to each other, I feel like it's fucking Helaena and Damon.
Yeah, that was super weird.
It was, but she says Damon is just one part of this story, basically. Just one character in the whole thing.
So yeah, I wonder. It seems like maybe Alice and Helaena have been able to talk to each other, or something. Like this is the same. Like he's tapping into Alice's network here, and immediately gets invaded, gets dropped in on by Helaena. I don't know if she's getting fed stuff from Alice, if she's seeing the same things that Alice is seeing. It's weird. I also wonder what Damon just saw.
Are you like sure that this like they're in cahoots somehow?
No, this is completely made up. Yeah, this is not in the books at all. The written by Maesters thing has no idea what's going on here.
Okay, because I kind of feel like they almost have like a different. I feel like Helena's got that dreamer shit like Aegon had, and then,
right. It's supposed to be different magic, old magic, and like dragon magic.
That's what I'm thinking. What was the girl who saw the fall of Valyria? What was her name?
Yeah,
I can't.
Something the dreamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think it's with the D.
Might have been Dany the dreamer.
Something like that. But like she was a dreamer. Aegon was a dreamer. Viserys may have been a dreamer. It seems like.
Yeah. So that's what I was also wondering. Is this the same exact vision that all the other Targaryens have seen? That Viserys saw.
Oh, okay. I got you.
That Aegon saw. That Rhaegar is going to see later when he says, "It seems I must be a warrior," and like changes his whole mindset. And I don't know. Is it like the exact same thing, or are they just all accessing little bits and pieces of the future? Or is this the dream that has been seen by
I like that
20 Targaryens or whatever?
I like that.
That might be
it almost selects people again. The three-eyed raven.
Right.
The dream's selecting who it needs to go to in order to continue the line.
Right. And then is Alice an agent of the three-eyed raven? She's literally like leaking this dream to him somehow.
That's true.
I don't know. Is she even real? We still don't know.
Three-eyed raven.
I know. Is this Bran going back?
This goes like directly to like human like religion and shit like that. It's like, are we like in a fucking a little
a story?
Yeah,
what she says.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all a story.
We being
That's
controlled. Is our whole thing fate?
Yeah, it's all a story.
Everything predetermined.
But one part in it, and you know your part. You know what you must do. That's fucked. And that's right after all the Dany stuff and Rhaenyra sitting on the throne. It's like, it's all a story, baby.
Dude, fucking, I can't believe, this is another thing that goes to fucking online. But people online are like complaining. They're like, Damon fucking did nothing but like hang out in Harrenhal and have visions all season. Like, this sucked. And it's like, well, okay. Based off of like the story and like the book and what other book readers have said, it's like he kind of goes on hiatus. Like, he just goes to Harrenhal and we don't hear from him for a while.
Right.
So it's like, is that what you want to do? Do you want to just not see Damon, who's one of the best characters, if not arguably the best character in the show? Do you just not want to see him for the entire season?
I agree.
You want to pull a Bran and just not have him in season 2? It's like you're having these visions. It's expanding on the character. It's expanding on the story. And it's like, okay, this is what was actually happening. And I fucking loved this. People complaining about Harrenhal and shit. I loved the visions and stuff. I thought it was one of the most interesting parts of the entire season.
I agree. I thought it was awesome. I don't understand where people are coming from if they don't like it, to be honest. More.
What did you want Damon to do?
No, I agree. That is the best opportunity for them to add something, and they added something awesome. And we're finally getting some more info on how the fuck magic works in this world.
Yes,
and
magic.
Yeah, hopefully we get some answers. George said he's going to have some more answers. His style isn't to explain everything, but...
No, for sure not. He likes to leave things open to interpretation.
Right. And to establish a system and like how the characters live in it. But there's more answers to be given, and I feel like they're moving towards them with these Alice moves.
When we found out that Harrenhal was like built out of like weirwood trees and like on a weirwood tree forest, I was like, right away, I was like, that's so cool. I was like, this has been mentioned so many times. Like in Game of Thrones, Harrenhal's haunted. It's been passed on to so many people. In this show, Harrenhal's haunted. Like it's always been, since Aegon came and burnt the motherfucking thing down, it's always been looming. And it's like, oh shit, like these weirwood trees, man. That again, the three-eyed raven, this whole thing's spooky. And it's like, okay, that's why. Like the bed that he's sleeping on is made of weirwood trees. Right. I found that shit out. I thought that was mad. Like to me at least, I was like, that's awesome. Like that's mad interesting. I love it. That's great. Like I'm in.
Yeah.
I've talked about, like, I like the magic part of the show. Like, I loved Melisandre and the fucking... I wish they had done more of that in the books. Like, the fucking... what's it called? Like, the Red Hand? What's their army called? Fuck. Remember,
that sounds right. Yeah.
Is it the Red Hand?
Army of the Red Hand, kind of.
Some shit like that. You know what I'm talking about,
yes.
right? The Red Priestess have, like, an army. It's like... I think it's only, like, 100...
A fiery hand? Something like that?
Oh, I think it's what it is. The Fiery Hand, maybe?
Yeah.
I think... What is it? I think it's only, like... I think it's 1,000. It's only, like, 1,000 guys or 100 people. It's either 100 or 1,000. It's like a very small, like, yeah, almost like the Unsullied kind of fucking thing.
Elite.
The elite, yeah, exactly.
Elite units.
The fiery, I think it is the Fiery Hand. Like they didn't do as much with like the Red Priestess and shit as I wish they had. Remember when they brought in that other one towards the later half when Tyrion wanted to like that was another one. They brought her in, but they didn't really do much with her. She scared the shit out of Varys. That was a cool fucking scene.
That was.
Should I tell you what he said? That was fucking cool.
Yeah, but
I'm all into the magic.
They just bailed on that also.
They really did. Yeah. They really did.
Sad.
We go to Aemond trying to convince Helaena to join him on the battlefield. And then this was cool. Helaena started doing her shit. But this wasn't like the other ones that she did. She was always like kind of used like, there's rats beneath the floorboard or whatever the fuck. They were always kind of hidden in truth. Not in truth, but they weren't just blatant.
Right.
And this one's complete opposite of that. She was like, fucking, Aegon's going to sit the throne again. You're going to be dead. You're going to be You're going to get killed in the God's eye. Yep. And then she goes, even if you killed me, it wouldn't change anything. So it's already set in stone. Yeah. Basically is what she's saying. Yep.
Which is what Alice told Damon too. It's like, I've been trying to tell you have a part to play, and like you think you have some impact on your own life, but you don't. Let me show you.
Three-eyed raven and Bran can't change. It's already,
Yep. Like now you know.
It's beautiful beneath the sea, but if you stay too long, you will drown.
Yeah. And Helena's bought in as well.
Yeah.
She's drinking the sauce.
We go to another really great scene. We go to Rhaenyra and Adam arriving at Harrenhal. We see Adam just kind of like keeping to the skies, overhead watch. Cyrax does some cool shit and just like lands right in the meeting hall. Just like, I will light up everybody in this motherfucker.
Yep.
And then we see Rhaenyra and Damon come together for the first time since episode 2. One or 2?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, no.
And
episode 1 she only had one line. So yeah, episode 2. It was tense when they left. But then Damon fucking changes note real quickly. Fucking winter is coming, which is a line that everybody loves to hear.
Oh yeah.
But we need someone to bring everybody together. Viserys' choice was you. and Damon bends the knee, which was something that he's already done before, but this time you could tell it was fucking different. Like, that last vision was, like, set in stone.
Yeah.
And I did see something that I did like online. Somebody put it on Twitter, was that when he doesn't know who Daenerys is, obviously. So there's there's a possibility that he thinks like that's his daughter somehow, him and Rhaenyra's daughter. And I was like, ooh, I like that. Obviously it's not, but I was like, I like this, like the general thinking of that.
Yeah, I like that. I've heard people thinking that all these other Targaryens think that, because we don't actually know what the vision is that they've seen. So people theorize that they see some sort of Targaryen walking up to the Iron Throne. They assume it's them because they have the long hair and stuff. Yeah, even though it was Dany or somebody else. But for it to clearly be a woman with these eggs, and for it to be so I'm gonna assume it might be his child. That's a different take. I like that a lot.
Especially he picked those eggs at the end of the first season, right? Those are the ones that he picked out of the cave and shit.
Yeah.
So there's something to that. That guy, that Sir Broom guy who was ready to turn coat, he fucking heads for the doors real fucking fast. So I'm sure we're gonna see. But that's another thing. Like, that's something that was almost sure to start off like episode 9. It's like, we're gonna fucking chop this dude's fucking head off.
Right.
This, you could tell. You can just feel it though. I rewatched it today and you could tell this season was not finished.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But those same episodes are gonna be there in 2 years.
They will be.
It's the same ones, but just gotta wait.
Fucking writer's strike, man.
Yeah.
I'll never forgive them for fucking ruining season 2 of Friday Night Lights. Those sons of bitches, man.
One other quick thing on that one. We were talking about the story, like following the story. The end of Damon's oath to Rhaenyra, he says, "I'm going to serve you until death or until the end of our story." And so he's really committing to, this is all written, and I'm a servant to to fate.
Yeah.
And just really leaning into that.
I got you. I do like that. That's my kind of guy.
Yep.
I'm all in on the fucking 3-eyed raven.
That's cool.
Just in control of absolutely everything.
He was manipulating shit before he was even born.
Exactly. I love it. Yeah. Well, I mean, no, I think right now someone's a 3-eyed raven.
So yeah, that would be.
I don't know who would be. It's not Brendan Rivers yet.
Right.
But someone right now, someone's a 3-eyed raven.
Right. The same way Bran was pulled that up north, Brendan Rivers was pulled up there to take the place of someone else. Yeah.
Somebody else already got pulled up there.
Yep.
There's something. I'm telling you, it goes back for forever.
Yeah,
I can see the first men and the children and all that shit. Let's see. We see another quick scene that I mentioned. Corlys tries to help Alan, and Alan just basically tells him to go fuck himself.
Yeah. Because he's been struggling as an orphan. Corlys is literally the richest man in the Seven Kingdoms.
Yep. I love it.
And just gets to watch him from 5 feet away, living the life while he doesn't even get a second look. And even as he's succeeding, he still hasn't acknowledged him.
For real.
And even as he's trying to acknowledge him, he still hasn't acknowledged him.
Yeah. No shit.
A weird, terrible execution there.
If I was fucking Alan, I'd be pissed. Adam seems a little bit more okay with it. Maybe that's because he has a dragon now. You know what I mean? So he's all.
And he sees what's to be gained, but
that's true.
But Alan is just so pissed that he's never going to forgive him. Seems like.
Yeah, it does seem that way. How many of those you got?
That's the last one.
Fuck.
Split it with you.
No. I'm running out of steam here. Let's see. We go to here we go again. 2 characters that I never ever needed to see on screen ever again together. Alicent just breaks the security line again and just shows up, and she's going to talk to Rhaenyra. For the second time this season, they're going to basically just sneak into the other one's headquarters and just have a quick little conversation with one another.
Yeah. Also not in the book.
Oh, sorry, was it? Not in the book?
Yeah.
You know what was weird about this one, though, is that, Alicent wasn't, hidden from everybody. Rhaenyra didn't let anybody know. She was ready to stab a nun if she had to.
Right.
But this one, her Queen's Guard guy, her sworn protector, was the one that came and woke her up. He knew. Right. And it seemed like there was somebody else, 1 or 2 soldiers that knew, too.
Yeah, so Alicent obviously trusts Rhaenyra's people more than Rhaenyra trusts Alicent's people.
I got you.
Yeah.
But like I said, I didn't need to see these two people on screen together ever again. And now that I know that wasn't in the books, that makes me even more irritated.
Yep.
But Alicent's basically just like, I want to be free at all costs. Like, I want to clean my hands of this war, which is crazy because she is like the #1 reason for why this war started.
Yeah.
And now she just wants to wipe her fucking hands clean of it, which Rhaenyra scoffs at, which I think is good. Before she asked basically how they're going to go about this, they did make sure to show that Alicent was biting her nails again, which was a big thing in the first season.
Right.
They made sure to like center focus her, like almost looking at the camera, just like
Right. And
almost
she's back
showing
at
that
it.
she's back to the character that she was before she, became queen.
Right. And all she wants now is to be free, right?
Yeah. But she comes up with this, basically this plot, this plan. Aemond's going to be going to join Cole in the Riverlands to go fight for Harrenhal with Vhagar. And when he does that, it's going to basically leave King's Landing open for conquest. She's going to make sure the gates are open. And Rhaenyra is going to be able to march right in and take King's Landing.
Yeah. It's a good plan.
It is a good plan, obviously. Rhaenyra, though, which makes a good point, she goes, I can't just do this without, showing I conquered the enemy. So she's like, I would need to take Aegon's head, and I would need to do it for everybody to see.
Mm-hmm.
And Alicent agrees to it.
Yeah, reluctant at first, but took her 10 seconds.
Yeah, it did. She was very quickly. It seems like she only cares about Helena and fucking Jaehaera.
Yeah, there you go.
Crazy.
Good pull.
Fucking crazy.
And obviously it was a good move for Larys to get Aegon out of there because his own mother was literally plotting his
everybody, his
death.
brother, his mother, everybody.
His one best friend that you would think maybe would still have his back was literally setting up his assassination.
Which is perfect too, as far as the comparisons to Varys, because Varys did the exact same thing basically, smuggled out the kids to fucking cross the narrow sea.
Varys and Larry.
But Alicent, like I said, she gives in. So there was two things that I found funny about the end of this. The first one was Rhaenyra goes, a son for a son. Bro, we're past that. Where's your husband had a baby's head chopped off.
Yeah.
The son for a son thing, it's son for a grandson. We're good. We're settled.
Hey, Rhaenyra's still hurting. That's our baby boy.
I was crazy. I couldn't believe that. If I was Alice, I'd be like, bro, I think we settled that. Your son got eaten. My grandson got decapitated.
Yeah, with a dagger.
Who's an infant? Yeah.
Decapitated by a dagger.
For real. The guy who did it got caught with the baby's head on his person. I think we're even. And then the other thing that I thought was interesting was Alicent at the end of it. She goes, "Come with me."
Right. She wants to be loved or escape to their childhood together. I don't know.
Exactly what Rhaenyra wanted when they were children.
Mm-hmm.
To escape together, go eat cake.
Right.
Now Alicent's
just be free and not have anybody telling her what to do. But yeah, Rhaenyra is fully into the prophecy now. She cannot be swayed.
I think Alicent was kind of bashful at first when she was a teenager, but I think I'm telling you, Alicent and Rhaenyra want to fuck.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Rhaenyra always did.
She did.
Yeah.
She always did. Alicent was hesitant. Fucking dad's fucking chilling.
That's wrong.
That is wrong. But that was, as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh shit. You keep coming back to that first episode that we did of this the recaps for episode 1. That was one of the first things I said. And now it's been coming around this season. A little scene with the white worm, fucking. But yeah, so like I said, we're gonna fucking pull this little plan off. We're gonna kill Aegon. We're gonna take the Iron Throne while Aegon's out. Well, not Aegon. Aemon's out.
Right. Still gonna have a pissed off Vhagar somewhere, but
True. Now we got Caraxes.
If you're on the
too.
throne, that's a big starting point.
I think we had last week. I said we had 7 confirmed, and now we have 8. I'm pretty sure.
We're stacked, yeah.
Yeah.
Blacks are stacked.
Cyrax, Vermithor, Silverwing, Sea Smoke, whatever Jace is, whatever fucking Baela's is, Caraxes.
I was gonna say I thought it was 7.
Is it 7?
It's still pretty good compared to just Vhagar, Dreamfire, who doesn't have a willing rider, and then Tessarion, who's younger than Vermax.
And then we have Rhaena, who's trying to get Sheepherder, or
Right.
Sheep Stealer.
Yep.
Sorry.
Right, so it's about to be 8, maybe.
fucking, oh man, I can't think of fucking Baylor's dragon now, and it's bothering me.
Moondancer.
Moondancer, there it is. Good name. I knew it was a good. I just couldn't fucking think of it.
Yeah.
That's on me. And then we kind of just go into our quick little like montage, basically, to end the episode and the season.
Yeah, 10 scenes. Like, it's a powerful shot, but it's just disappointing that it's actually over right now.
Exactly. I think it's the perfect lead up to a penultimate episode, which is a big battle, and then episode 10 sets up next season.
Yeah.
It's like this is the Thrones formula, the algorithm,
Right?
and it's just fucking ruined. Which again, I would have to imagine is by the writer's strike. But we see the new dragon riders. We see Ulf, Hugh, and Adam all being prepared for battle. Like they're getting dressed by like the
Wearing their Targ stuff, yeah.
little squires, basically. Yeah, they're getting that Targaryen armor,
All black and red,
shit.
or black and silver for Alan or Adam, which is kind of interesting. More of the Valerian colors.
Yeah.
So already embracing it before that's
Even
come out.
like you could see like Hugh's like really like in like full blown like battle gear.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like hands on the ground, ready to get dirty.
Right. More Damon style.
Yeah. Whereas like Ulf was a little bit more like sleek, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some leather.
Yeah,
instead
exactly.
of with scales and yeah.
Because we did find out, that's one thing that I kind of skipped over at some point, but Rhaenyra was like, you guys are all flying out in 2 days to go like attack like Old Town and is it High Garden maybe?
I thought it was Casterly Rock.
Casterly Rock, and I know it was Old Town, but basically you're gonna go set fire to
Yeah, I
them
think it was those two.
while their armies are away.
Yeah.
Which is like the first time we're gonna like Rhaenyra's about to get her hands like dirty. Like this is where she's gonna be putting fire to innocents.
I feel like she should just go right for Vagar. That's the only
With all this firepower, just just go to Harrenhal.
It's over
full
if
blown.
they take out Aemond, right? Like who?
Yeah, I agree. I would have to agree.
Yeah, who they put on the throne after that?
Like you can't fight off like 6 dragons at one time, especially when you have like Vermithor and Caraxes.
I
And
know.
it's like,
All these huge fuckers.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's a good
They
point.
should just rush.
For real,
Blitz.
which is what Corlys.
Blitz.
Yeah, exactly. Corlys
both
was fucking.
corners.
Corlys was saying that. Like, just push because
Right,
you
just-
can't lose.
All right, I thought Corlys was implying that actually.
Shut up,
He said just got to take out the head and the rest will fall kind of thing, but he doesn't specify. But her interpretation of that is take out the 2 biggest supporting cities. So
Yeah, no, that's such a good call. Why not just like that's Rhaenys from last season kind of shit. Like,
Yeah.
just light these motherfuckers up. That's a good call. Like, why don't we just all fly at one dragon and this whole thing is over? Like over.
yeah, Vagar would have no chance. But
Well, now Rhaenyra, see, like, that's the thing though too, right? Rhaenyra knows where he's going now. Like she knows that he's going to the Riverlands. Like, why would you not do that?
yeah,
Just like everybody, let's go. We're gonna go fuck this guy.
they should.
So many people's lives would be spared.
I mean, they've already lost their element of surprise. They could have done that immediately after all the claimings, really. But
That's crazy. I can't believe that like just evaded my brain so that.
yeah,
Yeah, fuck. We see Darren. We don't see him, I'm sorry, but we see his dragon flying
Yeah.
over the High Tower army. So we got another dragon in the air for the Greens.
yeah, cool dragon too. All bright blue.
Yeah. Nice polished wings. You could tell it never been fucking into battle or anything.
Yep, it's a female dragon too,
Okay.
and it's just slightly younger than Jace's dragon.
Okay. Yeah, because they say he's 16. At this point, Jason got to be a little bit older than that.
Okay. Yeah, in the book, Jace is 16 here, but
Yeah, they
but
definitely
the
aged
actor's
him up.
20. I know. I don't know if that's around where they're shooting for, but it does seem aged up a little bit.
When Alicent was talking to Gawain and asking him, he said he's like 16 or whatever.
Okay, cool.
The men of Winterfell, finally the old heads, they finally arrived.
Yep, crossing the Twins Bridge.
Yep. Pirates in the Free Cities, they're making their way on boat. They're coming up to go the gullet, going to attack the fucking brigade. Not the brigade, the blockade.
Oh, yeah. the queen that never was.
Weirdest part, we see the weirdest part is Otto Hightower's in a jail cell.
Yeah.
No idea who, where, why.
Yeah, in the dark, beneath some flame, some firelight. Who knows?
Did you think it looked like the dungeons that they kept Ned Stark in? Like just ones at King's Landing beneath the keep?
Maybe. It was weird that there was so much firelight on his face, but maybe that was someone coming to see him with a torch.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the impression that I got.
I don't know. It seemed... I thought it looked like a wooden cell. Like wooden bars on the cell. But
I gotcha.
So maybe not as legit as that, but some of the theories I saw online were maybe it's the Beesberries. That's the old guy that Criston Cole killed right after the Greens decided to push Aegon to the throne.
I gotcha.
He was the one guy who was like, no.
He was loyal to Rhaenyra.
Right. He was the one guy, and he's out of the 10 people in the Green Council that was like trying to do the right thing, and Cole just like stood up and sliced him. So there's some theories that it's the Beesberries, but there's really no clues really.
I do remember that, man.
Yeah, old guy, soft spoken, but was trying to stand up for what's right.
Yeah, no, I remember him from last season. Like I said, the first thing I thought was that it was like, what did they call them? The red cells, right? Underneath King's Landing, I'm pretty sure what Ned was.
Maybe. I was gonna say like the
black cell.
Black cell.
Black cell.
Dark cell. Black cell.
But that pretty much like, let me see, Aegon the Clubfoot escaping King's Landing. And that pretty much puts the wrap on that season, which is, again, crazy because, like I said, it seems like everything's ready to go into an episode 9 and then episode 10. Like, this is the perfect lead-up. Like, it's perfectly built to set everything in motion to have a nice, crazy episode 9. And then, like you said, we deal out the fallout in episode 10 and we set up, season 3.
Yeah, seems like it would make sense. It's going to be a great next season, but I feel like we deserve some of it now. A little unfortunate. But maybe it was just like they committed to the release date kind of thing, and
I think that's what it was.
I just went with it.
Fucking Writer's Strike, and I think that's exactly what it was. HBO needed a summer show. They can't have nothing on summer Sundays. Yeah. It's like a known time slot for them.
Yeah.
And they needed to have it out. That's the only thing I can think of. It's the only thing to me that makes any sense at all.
The only good thing that could come from it is that we might be getting 4 seasons instead of 3.
Well, I thought originally the plan was to do 4 10-episode seasons. I thought that was the initial George Martin fucking thing that I saw. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I don't know. The way that they stretched out the second season, from what I know in the books, though, from what I've been told, it seems like they're very much built to be more than... It seemed like it was built to be 4 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, they only did like 22 pages.
That's fucking crazy.
Like, most of this is made-up stuff. Or not made up, but just added.
Yeah.
Context, They're not changing any of the things that happen for the most part, but they're adding in the Alicent and Rhaenyra stuff, the
Damon dreams.
Yeah, all that shit. Yeah, all of Alice is all new.
Yeah, just expanding a little bit on all the characters.
Yeah, Simon Strong is all new.
Simon Strong's the fucking man.
Rhaena's thing is all changed up.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know much about Jace or Bela, just that they do stuff, So that's all stuff that they're working on, giving us some depth.
Before we started, I was saying how fucking like Game of Thrones is like so expansive with like characters and just places we go to. They should have spent more time this season with these dragon riders, like before like they were dragon riders.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
Bela and Rhaena were nothing.
And Ulf,
season 1.
Yeah, I just feel like there was. If you're going to expand, like, instead of showing the Black Council, like, 17 times saying we should go to war, like, give us a scene of Hugh being a fucking blacksmith or fucking Ulf doing something. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. People were getting tired of those before they paid off, though. But
especially Hughes, I just thought was so, like, boring. I was like, you got to expand this more than he's, like, a poor guy who has a family. Like, there should be more to this, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right, they started with the blacksmith thing where Aegon promised him some stuff,
but
then they never went back to that. Really,
1.
Yeah.
No shit. Like I don't know. I just feel like they could have expanded on characters more if they were gonna go in depth with these people instead of showing the same. Like, you're not even going in depth. You're just being repetitive.
Right.
Like Rhaenyra did the same shit over and over and over and over again for the last like season and a couple of episodes at this point.
Yeah. The funniest kick in the balls right at the end, too, is that the last shot is Rhaenyra looking off at the sea.
Yeah, like exactly what she was fucking just doing. It's crazy.
Not only are you ending it right now, but you're ending it with Rhaenyra looking off into the sea.
It's absolutely fucking crazy.
Thanks for that.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up my thoughts on the episode, yes?
Yeah, that's all that happened.
All right. So again, like we kind of said at the top, good episode. It's just not in any way a finale. It's not even a penultimate episode, in my opinion. But it was a fine episode of TV. I was entertained.
Yep. As long as people are not so pissed that they're never going to watch it again, I think the payoff is coming, and just got to pretend that all the episodes come in a row.
Yeah, I'm sure like in a few years from now, when people go back to binge it, it'll play fucking good. You won't have to wait 2 years in between this, and it'll just play seamlessly right into one another.
Right.
So in hindsight, I'm sure it'll smack. And to me, I just rewatched. Actually, I rewatched season 1 twice. So we watched it. I watched it live and it was on. Then the following summer, I watched it again, and then just this spring, I watched it with Holly because she had never seen it.
Right.
And I was definitely a little too harsh on it the first time we watched it live, and I think that was because it was a tough show to watch week to week because they did so many time jumps and shit like that.
Yep.
But when you watch it out from start to finish, it's actually a really good season. So to me, I don't think this one came even really that close to season 1. I enjoyed season 1 way more. And to be totally honest, at least for right now, this is my least favorite season aside from season 8.
Wow. It's harsh.
Of Game of Thrones. Like I'll take everything else that we've seen so far from Westeros.
Ouch.
Ahead of this.
I'm definitely not that negative on it. I do understand where you're coming from.
Honestly, though, like it's tough to be like I don't know. Like I said that, but it's not like that negative, to be honest. Like it's
Right.
not.
It's still your favorite show is Game of Thrones. So
Right. Like
not
Game
you're
of Thrones
putting
is
it behind
fucking
something bad.
amazing
Yeah.
through like 6 seasons, and then the 7. It really comes down to like 7 or this, and it's like there's enough in 7 where I'm like, all right, give me 7.
All right. Well, no, I understand what you mean, and I would be even more pissed if I didn't know what was coming with the big turns. So
I got you.
I understand
yeah.
you. But overall, I do like it a lot. I think it's pretty similar to the first season. I wish that they ended it better, but I think it's equally good to the first season. And we got way more dragons, way more magic development, which I'm loving.
We did see, the Alice Rivers character was good. I did like her a lot.
Yep, and hopefully some more answers. But yeah, just love seeing all the visions, stuff that they kind of shied away from in Game of Thrones near the end. They like the dreams. We talked about it in another episode, how they didn't do any of the cool dreams from the books. They did whatever, 1 for every 5 cool dreams.
Yep.
And so they're really leaning into it, adding dreams that didn't happen in the books, and there's a lot to build on. I'm optimistic, so I still think it was really great. I'd give it a great score, whatever. I don't know. Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
good.
I know it's not a 9 because
I like
they
to hear
didn't
that.
pay off, but everything. But I'd say still 8.5 kind of thing.
Oh,
It's still
man.
great.
I'd go with like a hard 7. I think for this season.
I think it's understandable.
This season left me wanting more, which stinks because after that first episode, man, I was like, holy shit. I was like, we're fucking back. Like, this is going to be wild. This season's going to be nuts.
There was some
Fucking-
crazy shit, but yeah, sprinkled in with
Yeah.
some not crazy stuff. Yeah.
It's just to end season 1 with fucking Luke getting eaten by Vhagar. And then the premiere of this season ends with a baby's head being decapitated. It was just like, holy shit. Like, this is going to be fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And then it just wasn't fucking nuts at all. It just wasn't. Episode 4 was good.
Yep. Rook's Rest was pretty wild.
Episode 4 was good.
And the dragon claiming thing from episode 7 was cool.
7 was okay. I think 6 was the other one I think I liked. Yeah, it was. 6 was the other one I liked a lot. But like I said, I'd go hard 7.
I think that's fair. I think there's a high chance it'll improve with the rest of it, but
I think so.
I think you're totally entitled to your critiques. And,
I think it's just the way I'm telling you, those last 2 episodes.
I just don't want people to give up on it because that is going to pay off. It was obviously good build up. Like that's why we're all pissed. So it's gonna pay off.
It just felt the same way. Like I feel like we left the last 2 seasons feeling the exact same way, which is like, all right, next season's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
It's tough. I don't know. It's a weird, like I said, it's a weird spot to leave off the season because you would never like. I just think like Daenerys like sailing on her boats like across the fucking kingdoms, or like Daenerys giving that speech to her army, like, all right, we're gonna go fucking do like. It's always like a big moment that puts the character on like almost a new path, sort of, for like the next season. It's never left like, all right, next season, 2 years from now, this fucking first episode is going to be a wild fucking battle.
Yeah.
Like, that's, you know what I mean? That's just like weird. It doesn't feel right. Like I said, you can tell that there was something wrong. I think HBO was, like you said, committed to the time of the release. And
yeah.
so hopefully, I don't know what that means now. Like, I don't know if that means we just have like longer episodes and 2 seasons of like 10 you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if these were meant to be at the end of season 2, what does that mean going forward? Was like season 4 only supposed to be 8 episodes, or how are we going to divide this now?
Right.
So that's something I guess I'm interested in. But 2 years, and we have Knights of the Seven Kingdoms coming next summer.
Let's go.
Before we wrap, I said let's do a couple of winners and losers from this season. I got 4 winners, and like the whole rest of the show is losers.
Yeah.
You can start us off. Start us off with somebody. Go winners first.
Well, I got one that I know we'll agree on. I do see him on your list. Sir Simon Strong.
Simon was awesome.
Yeah, I don't think he did anything wrong. Yeah, he was the comedic relief in a not like weird way. He didn't stick out like the pirates did, you know.
Right. Not in your face, but
yeah. And he was basically like the viewer. There's like one time where Damon finally did something good, and you just see him like clapping in the background.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's very funny. He's the one questioning Damon on the stuff we're questioning him about. You know,
I liked him last
king
week.
Consort.
Yeah,
stuff, yeah. All the stuff we're wondering. He's saying.
I liked him last week when the kid was mouthing off to Damon. He just kept looking over at Damon, just like, yo, chill, like, don't do it, bro, don't do it.
Yeah, he's very much the audience's like.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Manifestation.
That's a good way to put it. I like that.
Yeah. So he's a great one.
He is a good one.
I have some other good ones, but someone that's not on your list there. But I would say Alice Rivers was really fucking cool.
Yeah, she was a good character.
I was not expecting her to be that cool, and
I liked her
possibly like a complete fucking ghost mystery like entity thing.
No idea.
Pretty cool.
You mentioned a good point with the healing thing when the old Tully Lord went down.
Right, Simon Strong
said
that she was sent to try to fix him, and he died shortly after.
Exactly, yeah. So we at least acknowledge that she is like a person that exists in reality.
Yeah, unless Simon was like testing Damon to see like if he'd heard of her or something.
Getting wild.
Yeah, who knows?
All right, I don't hate it.
But yeah, no, she's another winner. Who do you got?
I was gonna say I'm gonna go with my favorite character who I didn't have much of an opinion on her after season 1. Bae was the man. Bae was not the man, but Bae was the girl. Bae was the woman.
Yep.
Bae was awesome. I fucking love this girl. She's great.
Yeah.
She's fucking talking Chase off of a fucking cliff. She's doing whatever Rhaenyra tells her. She's like, she sees Cole and she ain't even hesitating. She's like, yo, like, let's freaking go.
Yep. Laid down the law with her dad when he was like not really trying to take the hand of the queen.
Yep.
She just like owned him.
Put her in place.
Yep. Being stern but nice with Jace, like you said, like
needs that.
Yep.
Needs that.
Yep. Softly directing him, like slapping him in the face with reality, but gently.
I loved, we talked about it on the episode. I loved that it was the first time in this entire show that I felt like this girl like doesn't ride her dragon. She drives her dragon. Everybody else is riding and kind of just doing whatever the dragon does. They give out like little commands like blow fire, you know what I mean? She was driving her dragon.
Yeah.
She was like fucking steering it, wheeling it. She knew how to ride that. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was so cool. Yep. I loved that scene.
Yep, she's got a manual transmission on that thing.
For real.
She's pulling all the strings.
Yeah, she had full control over that dragon, which we see like like fucking Aemond and Aegon. Aegon does whatever it wants to do. It has no control.
Right.
Rhaenys, I would say, is probably the closest. Rhaenys was pretty good with freaking Meleys. Yeah, there you go. The only other 2 winners I had were not actual characters in the show, but Tom Glyn Carney, who plays Aegon, and then Fia Sabin, who plays Helena. Yeah. I thought both of them were like just stand out incredible this season. I thought they both did like incredible jobs.
Tough characters to play too.
Yep, exactly.
Like weird peeps. You know, one not only is like an asshole, but gets burned to smithereens.
Had a horrible season 1 as far as like appealing to the audience.
Right.
Like totally hateable, and I feel like I feel like it was just because of the actual kid that played him. Like, he came off as charismatic. Like, you could feel, like, he was just good. Like, he was just talented. Like, I could feel the vibe from him. I liked him from the very first episode, and I thought he did a great job this season.
Yep. Yeah, he really did well. He wasn't a winner as a character, but as an actor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I thought he did great. And like I said, Fia Sabin, I thought she was awesome, too. I thought she did a great job.
Oh, yeah. One, like, last one to throw in there. I feel like Damon, I did not really know if he was going to come around or not from his deep, dark place of betraying the people he loves. So for him to come all the way around and have his full, like, come to Jesus moment, I'd say he's a winner too.
Yeah. I mean, plus he's the man. So
yes, he's already the coolest guy, but he has a lot of sketchy parts about him that are not enviable. And but he dominated them by the end. He controlled that shit. And now he's ready to fight for his lady.
Small time winner is that kid, the little Lloyd Tully. Kid had like one or two scenes, but man, he was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
He turned it on last week.
Yeah, he like kind of stuck it to Damon too.
He did. Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. Let's go losers. I'm gonna start off right out of the gate with Jace. Jace is a character that I was expecting so much of, especially this season. I was like, all right, like I'm gonna take the jump. This kid's gonna be better than Damon. Like I'm gonna ride for this kid. And he pissed me off all season. He was such a bitch. All he did was cry and complain the entire fucking season. He didn't do anything of merit, aside from like the small. Like he went and
gave away Harrenhal.
Yeah. Like good job, dude. Even when he went to Winterfell, it's like you came back with 2,000 old ass dudes. It's like it's something, but it's not exactly like a victor. It's not like well, like all right, let's go.
Right. And then the twins thing was just to actually make that be helpful. Like it wasn't.
Exactly.
That's all it was helping was the old guys to get there faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing of actual merit, like I said. All I did was bitch and cry. I was pissed off. And then he came up with a good idea finally, and then he gets mad with the results of it. I thought it was a terrible, terrible season for Jace. And now I'm just so down on him as a character entirely going forward.
I hope he's got some good stuff coming, but
maybe he can sway me.
But yeah, he's had a tough run, especially after such a good first episode where it seemed like he was turning around.
Let's see. Rhaenyra. Down on
Loser.
Rhaenyra.
Yeah, just stalling too much.
It's way too much.
Winner as a character, though, she's in a way stronger position than she was 8 episodes ago.
Sure.
But you're disappointed in her, yeah.
Definitely. Dragging her feet, especially after her kid died, was just so hesitant. Then, like, Damon leaves and goes and does whatever he wants for a full season. She doesn't do anything about it.
All that shit worked out, though.
It worked out, but it's like, it just worked out. It, like, worked out. It wasn't because of anything she did.
It was destiny.
My other ones were small. Corlys, bad dad, lost his wife. Bad Corlys.
Yeah.
Alicent's got no role in the world. Daemon's got no screen time, and Cole just sucks.
Yeah, I had Alicent as the biggest loser.
Yeah, she lost everything, basically.
Yeah, she was, like, trying so hard to have an influence while Viserys was king, and then Aemond takes over, or Aemond, and she just gets kicked out. And,
at least with Aegon, she had a chance to get a little bit in, you know what I mean? She was able to sway him a little bit. Aemond,
right.
Nothing, gets booted right off the fucking the council.
Just has no respect for her, and she just goes and does a like spirit finding journey in the wilderness, and
goes and lays in the lake.
Yeah, and decides that she's gonna give up her son so that she can go be free somewhere.
Yeah, that's her 20-second deliberation.
Yeah, not great.
Crazy.
I know you had Aegon as a winner, or the actor as a winner, but he had a bad season in general. Got toasted.
He did get toasted.
He learned a lot in the process, but
he did. He made it out alive.
Not doing so great.
He made it out alive. He did show some balls charging in on Melees. That's always nice.
Yep.
He tried to give the man his goats back. That was nice.
Yep.
I like Aegon. I don't know why, but I'm in on Aegon.
No, I do too.
I'm in on him.
He's caught in the crossfire here. He's not really a bad guy.
Yeah.
He didn't even want to take the throne in the first place.
He didn't.
He literally had to be like found by the twins, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Hiding underneath some church, like I don't even know, a church table or some kind of shit, an altar of some sort.
Yeah. So he was not trying to do this shit. He's just victim of the situation.
Yeah. No, I hear you. You got any more losers?
Are we doing most improved too?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna give that to all of the dragon seeds
Yeah, they got a big bump.
Yeah, they all really did much better. And then Massaria too. She went from prisoner.
Oh, the White Worm?
Yep.
She
went from prisoner.
Gotcha. What's her name?
Massaria.
Gotcha.
Yep, went from prisoner to being freed to
Basically
the queen's hand. Even though Corlys is the queen's hand, she seems to be getting more sway and more microphone time with Rhaenyra.
Yep. Most improved me. I mean, again, it's that's why I already said it's Baela. Baela's a gangster. I love her. I'm all in. Damon's probably number one, and then Baela's number two.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. Damon was my number one winner. Therapy session, Damon.
Therapy session, Damon. No, like I said, I liked all the Harrenhal stuff. The people that are complaining about it, I just do you not want Damon in the show? Because that's the alternative, and then we're just gonna do more of the same shit with the councils and the boringness.
Yeah, I hope the vision part at the end maybe made those people change their minds.
Yeah, that's a little bit of
because it gives her some real credibility. She's not just creeping him out. She's leading him towards some path of destiny.
Using the weirwoods too, which I like.
Yeah, she's not just trying to fuck with him.
And showing the three-eyed raven.
She's got right. That's awesome.
I can't wait for there to be the Aegon's Conquest show, and we get some kind of tie into the three-eyed raven. I'm just gonna be like, this guy has been here since before everything, man.
Right? Yeah.
And it just took him thousands of years to play out his master plan, but with Brandon Stark, he finally did it in his little wheelchair.
Yeah. You'll never walk again, but you will fly.
I think that was all I had overall. I think that was all I got.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No. I think we covered it all, man. We're looking forward to next season. I feel like we got left hanging a little bit, but
for sure.
No, I think we covered it all.
Good episode, bad finale. 2-year hiatus, but we'll be back next year in Westeros with the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So not as long a wait as normal. We're gonna be going back to back to back for the next foreseeable summer, so that's cool.
Right.
But I think that's gonna basically wrap it up.
Good season.
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right.
Somewhere between 7 and 8.5.
I'll tell you that I'm still excited for it to come back.
Yeah, I just hope people don't give up on it. That's all. Seems like some people online are. I don't know if those are just dramatic people.
Yeah, there's always those losers.
But
they're a bunch of schmucks. They'll be back.
Yeah,
don't worry.
It was not the worst episode of television you've ever seen. You're gonna be okay.
No, definitely not. But I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. Lukey, thank you for as always for coming on through this whole season. You did pretty much every episode, so I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. I love it. It's a good time as always, and yeah, happy participant in Cinema Lords. Love it.
Appreciate it. Probably have you back for a couple times in a couple weeks when Rings of Power starts.
I'll be here, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. For the next week, 2 weeks, it's gonna be a little bit slower than we have been. We're gonna do a Cobra Kai episode, and then I'm hoping to do an episode with Kenjack, but that's still got to be TBD. But that'll be cool, hopefully. For now, though, that's gonna wrap it up for us here tonight. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Hope you guys enjoyed Season 2 of House of the Dragon. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Happy watching.
Peace out.